Okay, here I am, lying down on the job, under the car. Car's just on ramps so I can get easier access. And there's some of these covers that I need to remove. This one says, upside down, engine oil filter and drain. So this is where I shall remove this cover to access the filter and the drain plug. So that's a good starting point. It appears to just have some Phillips drive clips here. This one may be missing, and this one is an odd one out. It would appear the trick with these is to go slow and in the right direction. Let's try this one. Slow. If you go too fast, it just seems to spin on the spot. And we just keep going around until they're all off. Riveting, isn't it? Not sure if that was an intended pun or not, but we'll see how far. If you go too fast, it's just not going to work. And I gather some of these aren't in the best of condition, so they might just be worn. Might try and get this one out by hand. That's come out. See, this little fastener did, where are you? Actually, this little fastener did provide me with some resistance. It's a different style to that which is holding the oil filter and oil plug cover, and it seems to be the style that holds the rest of the water guard below the engine. So I might remove the whole water guard just so I can inspect the vehicle a bit closer. There seems to be a bit of an oil leak there, but there's no puddles or drips on the ground, so that's a good start. Okay, also in addition to the plastic clips holding up the splash guard here, there are some which appear to be 12mm bolts, and two are over here and one inside there, if you can see it. A crater. It's a moon crater, and there it is, just hidden in there. So I'll remove those also and get a better inspection. There's a little inspection cover here. If I do that, what does it show me? I don't know, what does it show me? Oh, it doesn't matter, I'm taking the whole thing off. So there is the spin-on oil filter tucked away there with a drop of oil ready to fall on my camera lens. Okay, there's the sump plug. It's a 17mm, so I've got a offset spanner here, and I did loosen it earlier because I had to use two hands, and it just spins off relatively easy. And the trick is always try not to get it everywhere. Oh yeah, it's good stuff. Nice colour. Probably not as dark and grimy as I thought it might have been. We'll just let it continue to drain. No, they can drain for days and days, can't they? It just goes on and on forever. Don't know where it all comes from. I think this vehicle takes about 5 litres of oil, 5W30. That sound makes me want to go to the toilet. This is a little bit unusual. I was just testing the tightness of the filter, the filter that I need to replace, which is just tucked up under there. Get my light again. So I was just testing the tightness. I usually have to use a filter wrench to undo them, but I turned it by hand and it started spinning off quite freely, so that could even be a source of my oil leak. So again, after I've degreased and run the vehicle for a while, I'll have a better idea. So I'm just going to spin that off. It's only a tiny little filter, and hopefully I can do all this without getting oil on my camera. That's where the oil filter spins onto. I've given it a wipe down, but I'll give it another wipe before I spin the new one on. I like to use a funnel when I'm filling up with engine oil. Usually takes a bit longer, but that's okay with me. This is the oil filter I'm using. It's a Ryco brand. I did pay a little bit more for this one. It's a high efficiency, which on a 15-year-old vehicle, I don't know if that's going to make much difference, but for the sake of only $5 or $6, why not? And this is the oil I'm using, Castrol Edge 5W30, which was recommended for this vehicle. It's a fully synthetic or full synthetic engine oil. There's a filter. I'm just going to put a smear of oil along that gasket or seal, a bit more. So I'll just put it on by hand, and when the seal makes contact, then I'll just turn it another 3/4 of a turn. And I'll just give the surface that the filter spins onto another wipe, then I shall install. Okay, it's taking a grab, it's spinning on, it's just firm, and I'll just give it another little bit of a turn. That's great. Let's put the plug back on. I'll give that a wipe also. I'm reusing the original gasket. It's an aluminium washer, so it's fairly soft and it'll just reseal. Get my 17mm spanner. And firm, but don't wring its neck. And before we forget, let's fill it up with oil. That'd be a disaster, wouldn't it? Just got to keep an eye on the filler, make sure it's not going to overflow. I've got the filter on, I've got the oil drain plug on. I'm going to put the full amount in because that's what it says. It says put the full amount in. Well, not really. If it was a 20 litre drum, you wouldn't want to be putting the full amount in, would you? There you go. Get every morsel, get every drop. I've paid for that. Be free. Release your slipperiness and be free. and I'll pour the old oil back into that. So I'll run the engine, and when the vehicle is level on the ground, I'll check the oil level.